Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Shobhita Soor, the CEO of Legendary Foods, and today we're going to talk about innovative processing of palm larvae. So, Legendary Foods is on a bold mission. We are on a mission to make palm weevil larvae the most cost effective, the most sustainable, nutritious, and delicious form of animal protein in West and Central Africa, where there are really exciting markets for palm weevil larvae. Right now, we are based in Ghana, which certainly informs some of the products that you will see next. So right now, we sell around 7 products. So we do sell frozen akokono. So akokono, I should say, is the local tree word for palm larva. So here we just wash and rinse the larva, and then we use a little bit of vinegar actually in the washing process, and that also helps to prevent oxidation as well. So that is something to also look out for. We also do sell fresh larvae to the customer, and they just use it as meat or as fish. We do sell dried larvae as well, and so here you can certainly see the larva has oxidized, the color has changed a little bit. We have both marinated and non-marinated varieties. We also sell a condiment product, which is really interesting because it's a great way to get the word out about the product, about our farm, because this is such a ubiquitous product across the country. And so here we're just using the larva as the base of the condiment product, but then there's a lot of other ingredients added. And this adds a great flavor profile. Because the larva is chitinous, it is similar to shrimp and fish, which is what would traditionally have been used in this condiment product. So the flavor profile is great. We also sell a larva sauce, larva kebabs, and finally larva cookies. So our larva cookies are 15% larva, and we actually don't use them to replace the flour. We use them to replace the fat in baking. So we take the larva, we put them in a blender, and we get this larva slurry, if you will. And that is what we use in the larva cookies instead of using another fat that you would normally need in a baking application. We do have some additional products in the pipeline, so a canned larva, which would be very similar to a lot of canned sardines or canned mackerel. Canned products are great for the local infrastructure because they're resistant to heat, they're resistant to sunlight, to moisture, when they are in the can. So this is a really great opportunity for a mass market product. And then we've also looked at meat analogs. So we have looked at larva burgers. Here we've taken the larva, we've blended it, we've added spices, we've also added a binding agent, and these are really, really delicious. So I'm quite excited about these. In terms of the opportunities and challenges, I would say the customer is really making an assessment comparing volume of food to the price of the food. They're not necessarily looking at weight per price or calorie per price. And so when you're comparing larva, which is 100% edible, next to something like a chicken where there's feathers and bones, and it looks like less in terms of volume, but in terms of edible weight or calories, certainly the larva, packs more for its weight. But that is a challenge, especially because you do see that in the dried larva, for example, it really does shrink, and so you're losing the volume because the moisture is gone. And so this is something that we really do think about, is how can we develop products where we preserve the volume of the larva or even enhance the volume of the larva. So that's something that we do think about. And so yes, related to that, this is a high moisture, high fat product, and so we do have to be quite innovative and creative about how to preserve it because of the high moisture and high fat content. And then lastly, I would say the other challenge we face is that the co-packing or co-processing system in Ghana is not very developed. So there isn't the same ecosystem as, for example, if you went to the United States, where the majority of granola and protein bars are actually made at co-packer factory sites, not by the brand themselves. That type of ecosystem is not as common here, and so thinking about building out all of these product lines can be quite capital intensive. And so we always are looking for those opportunities for collaboration with other companies so that we don't have to have a canning line and a drying line and a condiment line, all of the machinery that's required for that. So yes, I'm excited for the panel and I'm excited to hear your questions. Thank you so much.